Subscribe, please.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp with a Limp, and I am here with part 2 of my review through covering DVG's Corsair leader that just released to all their Kickstarter backers. And I gotta say, I am enjoying it. It's a leader game. I love their leader games, and this one, I mean, it's all up my alley. It's got Marines in it. It's in the Pacific Theater, which is my favorite theater. So I'm all over this. I love everything about, the Pacific Theater. Well, not everything, there's a lot of atrocities and shit, but you guys know what I'm saying. Especially the aircraft, TBD Devastators and the SBD dive bombers and the F4U Corsairs. I love all that, and all of that is in this game. It is just outstanding. My wife's going to get mad because I'm not going to be clearing off the table from this for a while, but I will have to do that sooner or later. So I got to set back up to where we left off from part 1, and I got the map a little straighter. I do apologize. It was a little canted in the first one, and I missed that when I was doing the recording, so I apologize for that. But I got us zoomed into the area that we were at. Where we left off, we had set up our bandits, or our sights rather, and we went ahead and drew for a bandit just so we didn't forget to do that. A little out of order, but that's okay. And we've got our 2 pilots picked for our mission to attack this truck convoy in the Luzon 1945 campaign mission for the U.S. Marines. Semper Fi, baby. So we're all set up. We've got our pilots set down here. We've got our bandit. I've got my 2 pilot cards here set to the left, so you guys can see them easily. My flight leader is going to be Rodriguez for this one, and that's because he's the highest skilled. So he's the skilled level, the other guy's average. So whoever's your highest skill level pilot is going to be the flight leader. And if you have 2 that are equal levels, you can just take and pick one for that. Now, I will say there is one little thing that I would have liked to have seen changed. The Gung Ho. All right, I'm not upset with Gung Ho. I love Gung Ho, but it's not listed on any of the player aids unless I just missed it. And it's got a fairly substantial amount of stuff that it can do. And we hold it up here out of the rule book. You can expend a counter to do any of blah, blah, blah. Treat an unfit or shaken pilot as being okay after suffering some bad results, shaken, damaged, destroyed. You can use that to treat it as no effect. Instead of rolling for attack, you can just take and spend it to get an automatic success. And all that is awesome stuff, but none of that's on the player aid. I would have liked to have seen that on the player aid. So, and there's one other little thing that I noticed. And where are we at? Okay, right here in the sight bandit attack sequence, when you have the ability to react. In the rule book, it's different from this, suppression and evasion. The suppression gets a stress counter, and the evasion only gets 1. This one, it has the evasion listed down as 2. So I'm probably going to go with the rule book on that one because I'm thinking they should both get stress versus the evasion getting 2 of them. That might just be a little typo that was put down on that. Let me see if I can find the page where it is. Aircraft reactions. Here we go. Yeah, like our evasion here. Go evasive, reduce the chances, and place 1 stress counter on it. So it's saying 2 on the player aid, but it's just 1 listed down here. So I'm gonna go with the rule book. I think the rule book's right, more than likely, because I don't think that's gonna cause 2 stress. I don't remember it causing 2 stress in the previous game. Plus suppression causes stress for the pilot as well. You gain 1 stress, and that's not listed down in the player aid. So I would assume it's 1 stress per instead of 2 stress for 1. But if I'm wrong, I'm sure I will be corrected in the comments, as people love to do. So let's get started on this one. We follow right down along our little line here. We already did all of our pre-flight stuff. We've armed our aircraft. Like I said, I've got a few bombs on one of my pilots, my flight leader. He's kind of going to be a bomber for me on this one. Yes, he is a fighter aircraft, but he has a high air-to-ground bonus. He's got a +3, and that's really good. So I'm going to use him to go after the truck convoy itself and the sights. And speaking of which, I got a no sight. This is why I placed my aircraft here in southern area coming up, because this is a no sight, so I get to take that off. This gives me a clear approach coming in. Plus, these guys are all range 1, okay? Or not range 1, rather range 0, as in they can only attack the areas they're in. So the only ground attack I have to worry about is from the center area from the rifleman, and the rifleman can't do anything else besides stress. That's it. So, you can tell because their counter, when you're looking at the damage that they can do, the first number listed is a 6, but then it has dash dash. If it's got, excuse me, dash, that means that it's not able to do anything else. So basically they get a 6 or higher, they can do a stress to you, and they don't have the ability to do a damaged or a destroyed result. The more dangerous ones of the light machine gun and the 20 mil are up here, and I have no reason to take my aircraft across those areas. It's just going to endanger them for no reason. My biggest threat is going to be the enemy 0 that's going to come down through here. So I'm going to take my first guy, my fighter, Emery Gallant, and he's going to take and go first. Let my bomber hang back in the back, and as he goes forward, the 0 will go forward as well. They'll meet, they'll engage, and while they're engaged, then Rodriguez will move up the next turn and head for the truck convoy and try to blow them out of the water. So we're set. We have done all that. And the one thing we didn't do in the previous video that should have been done before we had placed our aircraft was draw our event card, but I wanted to save that for this video, so I had all the event cards in the same one. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to draw our target bound event cards. And just like in many of the previous DVG games, your event cards are going to be divided up. So this one's going to be divided up into top, middle, and bottom for target bound, over target, and then when you're heading home. So let's see what we got going on for this one. Regain all the SO points you spent on special weapons on this mission. Well, that's not really going to do anything for me because I didn't get any special weapons. So that is, that's neither here nor there. And we'll take and draw a over the target event card here in just a sec. All right, we've already placed our aircraft. Determine and place bandits, which are already done. Intel air defense adjustment. Now this is the part where you would take and look at your campaign sheet here, and if you had anything here along the bottom where it was removing sites or bandits, that's the time you would do that. Mine, of course, we're just starting out. We've got no change, so we're not going to be able to do anything of that. Intel air adjustment. Now we're at the draw over target event card. So now we're going to draw another event card, but on this one we're going to be looking at the middle section instead of the top section. Let's see. Pilots do not suffer any stress for performing support. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's actually a good one. They don't tend to put a whole lot of these in their event cards. Usually it's like, yeah, crap. So that means I'm going to get burned on the one on the way home. I'll set this here, so I'll try to remember it. What that means is if I want, I can attempt to do attacks to prevent myself taking damage from sights, but normally you would gain stress from it. Like there would be no reason to try to suppress a rifleman since all they can do is stress you, and you're going to get stressed anyway from trying to suppress them. So it would really be a wash, no reason to do it. Now I would have a reason to do it because if I succeeded, I could take and avoid getting any stress at all. So that's a good thing. All right, let's see here. Draw over target, and now place turn counter in turn 1 box. It's already there. We're good to go. Now we're going to do over target 5 times. And dive bombers dive to low. Now that is something new in this game. All of our aircraft counters have their low side and their high side. Should have mentioned this earlier, but we'll get into it now. Now, in other air leader games, your aircraft could be diving up and down, no problem. In this one, they don't do that. You can't go back up to high once you go down to low in this area. These aircraft didn't climb that fast, so I guess that's what they're trying to simulate with it. You can start high and drop down later, but you're not going to go back up. But dive, oh no, actually I think I'm wrong on that. I'm not going to bother reading it, but I think that's a special ability for the bombers. I think what it is you have to stay whatever height you are, period, when you start the campaign. And that's why dive bombers have a special ability with the dive. Actually, I got one. My SBD Dauntless here, if you look at the bottom of the card, it says +1 to dive. So they can do a dive attack, you know, just like they did in real life, where they point the plane down and, you know, try to drop the bomb that way because they didn't have guided munitions. And that's to simulate that. So the plane will fly in high, get over the target, and drop their bomb that way. So the first thing that's going to happen is dive bombers are going to take and drop to their lower level to do their attack. Next, we're going to do our fast pilots attack. Unfortunately, I don't have any fast pilots. All my guys are slow. I don't even think DVG puts fast pilots in the game. It's like the only ones that ever are fast are like the legendary or perfect aces, and there's only a few of them that are fast. They love to have the enemy attack first. Although I guess I kind of see it, because if you were attacking first all the time, you probably win the games too easily. All right, so after fast pilots attack, we're going to go to our sights and bandits attack. One pilot may suppress, and pilots under attack may use evasion. Nothing's going to attack in this round. They're all out of the way, and our bandit is still here in the center area. The attacks in this game are going to happen prior to planes moving. So after the attacks happen is when your aircraft are going to move. So our next step is slow pilots attack. Again, no one can attack at this current moment. And now we're into aircraft move. Like I said, Gallant is going to shoot forward while Rodriguez hangs back, because this bandit would go for Rodriguez to try to take out my bomber type aircraft. So Gallant's got to shoot forward first to try to engage the aircraft to let Rodriguez come up and hit the target. All right, so after we do that, aircraft move, bandits move, boop, bandits move up. We know these guys are going to engage each other. Put them right there like that. And now we're going to advance the turn counter. So we're moving into turn 2, and we're going to restart this. No dive bombers again to worry about, no fast bombers. So now we're going to get into sights and bandits attack. Now we've actually got our first one to worry about, and this is where the cool little Dogfight sheet is going to come into it. And I like how at the bottom of this they have a little summary of what does what. So we've got our bandit maneuvering over here. Now, I'm going to go over this very quickly because I don't want to get long-winded over it, but I probably will anyway. Okay. When you start your dogfight, you're going to start in this neutral position where both planes are facing each other. All right, that's considered neutral. If one aircraft is pointing at the side of another aircraft, that is considered advantaged or disadvantaged depending on whether you're pointing or being pointed at. So the bandit pointing at me would be advantaged, okay, obviously. If the aircraft are like this, where one's pointing at the tail, that's either tailing or being tailed, obviously. So in this case, the 0 would be tailing me. In this game, you can only conduct an attack against your opponent if you are either advantaged, tailing, or neutral, okay? So pointing at him like this, I can conduct an attack, but in either of the previous two that I just showed you, I could not attack the bandit back. So this is to simulate that dogfighting, and turning, and diving, and trying to get position on your opponent to take him out. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to look at your little dogfight sheet here, and when you're selecting your maneuvers, you're going to be looking here right off the bat. This part on the right is to determine what the bandit's going to do, okay? And it's going to depend on whether he is tailing, advantaged or neutral, disadvantaged, or being tailed. That's what all these represent. Now the numbers listed down here are what he's going to roll to do whatever, okay? So let's say I was tailing him. If he rolled a 7 or under, he's going to do one of these maneuvers, okay? So 7 or under is going to go, 7 or under is going to do in my sights. 8 or higher is going to do out of the sun, okay? So 7 or under, this maneuver, 8 or over, that maneuver. With the position we're in, he is in neutral, which is the in. So he's going to do one of any of these maneuvers. Well, not any of these. He's not in here. I am just like tired. You guys have to forgive me. It's like 1 in the morning. I've been packing all day and working, and I'm just a little tired. So bear with me as I say stupid shit every now and then. I just put up a video earlier where I said that 3 + 2 + 1 = 5. So I think I got to try to get a little more sleep. Anyway, since he is neutral, a 4 or under is going to give him a tight turn. A 5 to 7 is going to give him a yo-yo. A 8 will give him a half loop. A 9 will give him an in my sights. And a 10 will give him out of the sun. Now, after we roll to determine which one of these he's going to do, then we're going to roll and determine what the effect is of the chosen maneuver that the bandit's doing. And he could potentially gain positions or gain a bonus to his attack, or he could even lose positions if I, turn the tables on him and lose, a bonus that way. So, and then you have some like this where if you're tailed or disadvantaged, it sets you back to neutral, disadvantaged to advantaged, -1 attack, things like that. So it's a real neat little system they have going on here. So like I said, we're starting off at neutral. So let's take and roll for him. But on top of that, there are some modifiers, as always. The enemy maneuver choice is only going to be affected by the D10 roll and his air-to-air rating. His air-to-air rating is a -1, which is actually good for me. So he's going to subtract 1 from whatever he rolls here. So let's hope he rolls really low, because a tight turn doesn't give him a good chance. So let's see what we get here. 4, perfect. He gets a 4, -1, 3. He's going to do a tight turn, or he's going to attempt to do a tight turn. I might turn the tables on him. Now we're going to look at it to where the maneuver success, it's going to be the D10 plus the enemy's air-to-air minus the friendly air-to-air. Well, since his plus is actually a minus, it's going to be the D10 minus his air-to-air minus my friendly air-to-air. My friendly air-to-air is 1 and his -1, so effectively he's getting a -2 from whatever he rolls, and then it's going to be compared to this. So let's take and roll and see what we get here. Come on, baby. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy. 7. 7 -2 is going to put us at a 5. That's going to be a no effect. Okay? So no effect means he's getting nothing, and now it's going to be the enemy attack resolution. Enemy D10 plus his attack minus mine, so he's basically getting a -2 again, and then the enemy attack numbers. We're going to look at his attack numbers there, and you see it's 5, 7, and 8 to do stressed, damaged, or destroyed. So now we're going to take and roll for his attack. He's not getting any type of effect on his attack, and he's getting a negative actually to his score. So my hope is he rolls very badly, so I could take and not suffer too badly from this. So come on, nothing more than stress. Let's see what we get, baby. 7. 7 -2 is going to give us a 5. 5 on his counter is going to drop it down to a stressed. So not a big deal. We can deal with a single stress. We're in it to win it. We'll drop a stress counter on Gallant here. Oop, not 2. We'll drop a 1 on there. And now we're going to turn the tables on him. We're going to go back. Now we have to decide what maneuver we want to do. Okay, so we don't have to look here. And it's similar to what we did with him. Basically, we're just doing the reverse when we're doing our choices, which again are right down here. Now, maneuver success. Which one is going to give us the best chance here? I'm kind of thinking I would like to get a position on him to get it to where I'm advantaged, because advantage gives me bonuses to my attack rolls to get him. But I don't want to risk losing a position. Let's see if we do. See, that would lose if I roll badly, but I'm getting a +2. So this I would need at least a, what is this? I need at least a 6. So I need a 4 or higher to get into +1 position and attack. So, okay. Well, actually, in my sights, you can only do, by the way, the two at the bottom, in my sights or out of the sun, if you are in a neutral through advantaged or tailing situation. You cannot do it if you are disadvantaged or being tailed. So, you know, I have to roll 2 or under, which is impossible because I'm getting a +2. So I, at a minimum, get a +1 to my attack. So yeah, we're gonna go with in my sights and see if we can take this little SOB out. Would out of the sun be better? Out of the sun has a good chance, but yeah, we're gonna go with in my sights. See if we can mess him up a little bit more. So we're gonna take and roll a D10, add my friendly, which is 1, subtract his, which is -1. So basically we're getting the +2. See what we get here. Come on, big money, big money, big money. 2. There's my big money. It still got me a 4. That still gives me a +1 to my attack. So right now I'm getting a +3 to my attack. Attack resolution D10, again, plus mine, minus his, and then friendly attack number. So let's see what we can get here. Getting the bonus of +1 and making sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, let me get a 5 or higher so I can take him out in the first go round. All right, well, we got the 5. There we go. So that's actually going to take him out. Bam! I am good with that. Let's see. Making sure I added everything up right. Yep, that's going to give me 8 on the guns. We got him. All you got to do is hit him to destroy him. So, bam. Now, you can also look at the very right of that counter where you see the little N. If they're an ace or a legendary pilot, instead of putting them back in the cup, you're actually going to take and put them in this little bandit legendary veteran box, and they don't come back. So that represents you killing off their better pilot. So that's actually a really cool thing that they've got going on with that. All right, we got 1 little stress, but that's not too bad. Now, after our sights and bandits attacked, we're good with that. Oh, I should have. I think I can suppress the bandit attack as well. And make sure about that suppression. Can you do that to a bandit attack? On the sight or bandit, only if the suppressing aircraft is unengaged. Okay, so I can't do it against ones that you're engaged against. Damn. Okay, so pilots we've already done. Aircraft move. Do I want to move Gallon up? Yeah, I'll go ahead and move Gallon up. If he gets stressed, he'll get stressed. Because we've got to take and get going on that. And bandits move, advanced turn counter. Bam. Now we're going back up over it. And now we're back down to our sights are going to attack. So this sight's going to attack, and I'm definitely going to try to suppress it. So does suppression happen before or after they attack? Let's see. Apply all attack modifiers to suppression roll is normal. Suppression hit the sight bandit attack is canceled. Doesn't really say. So let's just go ahead and roll to see if I suppress him before he bothers to do his attack. My air to ground rating is a 1. So my gun rating is an 8, which means I need a 7 or higher to suppress the bandit. There's nothing else that's going to affect it. But since I'm not getting stress from this attempt, there's no reason for me not to attempt to avoid taking another stress. 5, got a 6, no dice. So that's unfortunate. All right, so the bandit's going to take an attempt to fire onto me. Okay, so the riflemen are going to take and conduct their attack on me. Let's take and roll for it. Basically 6 or higher, and I'll get a stress from taking pot shots from the Japanese infantry on the ground. Of course, got the 7. There it is. So they're stressing me out. This is not good. I can only take 1 more stress and stay decent. If I get 2 more stress, then my guy's going to be shaken, and I'm going to have to take and burn a gung-ho to make him good. Or I might not even have to worry about it. Okay, so he conducted his attack. I attempted to suppress him. Didn't work, took some stress. Now my slow pilots can attack, so he's going to take and go ahead and attack. Which do I want to attack? Do I want to try to put that? I'm going to try to actually take out these riflemen, so I'm not going to take more stress if I potentially get them. Again, since I got the +1, I need a 7 or higher to take them out. Let's see if we can get them. 8. There we go. Rifleman down. That's what I'm talking about. Now I can just circle the target and try to take him out real quick. So we're done with that. Our pilot's going to move. Gallant's going to stay in the center. Rodriguez is going to join him, and we're going to advance the turn counter. So I've got 2 turns to basically take this out. We've already completed everything else that we need to take care of during this mission. So we're gonna pop down to slow pilot's attack again, because again, these guys are out of range, out of range, out of range. They would have a 1 on the right side of their counter underneath their damage numbers if they could take and hit me from 1 area away. As it is, I've got pretty much free reign at this point to take these guys out. We'll start with Gallant just to see if he can get a hit on the truck convoy. The truck convoy has small, which means they actually get a minus to the attacks against them. Let me make sure on that. Check our key terms here. Yeah, -1 from ATG rolls against the target. And okay. Oh, and the overkill, if we get 3 hits or more onto this thing, we'll gain an extra victory point. So that's cool. Now let's see. This means I've actually got to just roll a natural 8. 8 or better. So 8, 9, or 10 will take and inflict a hit on him. 9! That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I might actually be getting that victory point. Now, Rodriguez is going to take and drop all of his bombs. He has 4 of these 250-pound bombs, and they're not that good. They're only range 0, so you got to be right on top of them. Only 9 to hit, but they do give a bonus against soft, which removes that penalty that the small one has. Okay, so that evens it out to looking for 9, but then I get to take and add in his air-to-ground rating as well, which is a +3. What effectively means that I need a 6 or better to take and hit with these. It would be a 5 or better normally if I didn't have the penalty for this guy being small, but that's all right. 6 or better I can deal with. So hopefully out of these 4 I can get 2 hits and then they'll just bug out home. So let's see, we're looking for 6 or higher here. That's 1, so we've got 2 hits. And now that's 2 bombs taken care of. We'll roll for 1 more. I just need 1 more 6 or higher, and we got it, baby. 8 and 6, so it takes 4 hits. That's what I'm talking about. I'll grab my little counter here. Bam, we got 4 hits on the truck convoy. We blew it to hell and back. And that's the end of our attack step. So we'll take and move our aircraft. Our aircraft are going to take and turn around and bug on home. And they're pretty much done. So next turn, they'll bug down, and then they're over. So we completed our mission. We got 4 hits on target. We got 1 victory point for the target itself. All right, but we got a bonus victory point for the overkill for getting 4 hits onto it. So that's outstanding. And we get an intel point, which means we get to move our intel to the right, where we might potentially be removing bandits and sites from any further missions that we have. So that's outstanding. Really happy with that result. Let's take a look. We've got to do our homebound flight card though and check what happens with that, because bad things can happen here. And then if any pilots get shot down, this is also the point at which you would roll for any search and rescue missions for any shot down pilots. All right, we got moved. Son of a punk muck. Ah, damn it. Move the intel counter 1 to the left. So we basically just lost the bonus that we just got. Damn, that sucks. I always like to get that intel counter as far to the right as I can. Now, at this point, where's my little sheet? Here it is. Grab it. At this point, you're going to take and write down, forgive me, I have not printed out one of these yet. You're going to take and write down the outcome, your victory points that you got for the mission. Take and mark down any XP that the pilots who participated on it, and then you're going to adjust for your cool rating and all that other good stuff. You did one of these guys? Yep, actually the Rodriguez has a cool rating of 1, but he didn't get any stress, so it doesn't matter. The cool rating will help reduce that stress. Like if Gallant here was, if he had the cool rating of 1, he could flick that stress over back down. Also, you have to take and add any stress in to the pilots because of the target card. And if you remember, our target card is way up here in stress 1, okay? It was target number 42, so we need to take and switch out actually the 2 for a 3 on Gallant, and Rodriguez here is fine because his cool rating of 1. We'll take and cancel that out, so that is a good thing. Also remember, since you do have multiple pilots, if you have a pilot who doesn't fly for one of the day's missions, so let's say I probably wouldn't take Gallant on another mission anytime soon, give him a day off, he's going to recover 2 stress plus his cool being 0, so his stress would actually go back down to 1 at that point. But Rodriguez here skipping a mission could take and lose as much as 3 stress, so that's actually a really good thing right there. But yeah, that completes our first mission. Really easy mission that we had here. We had a pretty much clear path for our planes to come in, juke down the one enemy bandit while the other one came in and dropped a bunch of bombs on the truck convoy. A little basic mission. Since this one has gotten a little long, I'll probably take and break it off and do a part 3 with a couple of my other pilots to take and do our secondary mission of our small dogfight, which is just a couple of zeros that they have to fight against, but it does reduce their stress, so that's a cool one. We'll take and do that one next, and then we'll just touch on some final thoughts on the game, some of the other cooler aspects, and show off that stuff to you guys. All right, but I'm gonna cut it here. You guys take care. I'll catch you in the next one.